And welcome to another video of me documenting this journey of renovating a giant house, for the most part by myself, with the occasional much appreciated help of my mother-in-law and my dad every once in a great while. It's 8 o'clock at night now in the evening, and I'm just now heading over to the property. I left my house at 6:45, but I had to go get gas in my trusty 2001 Ford Explorer that I have to disconnect the battery from every time I park it to ensure that the draw that's in the electrical system doesn't kill the battery, so that I can leave the property reliably every night at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Now I had to go get gas, so that added some time. I also had to go get more MDF material because I grossly miscalculated the amount of material that I miscalculated the amount of material I was going to need to create the stringers, or the skirts, the skirting on the stairs. I got, I believe, four lengths, and I needed 4 and 1/8, so I had to spend another $50 on MDF material. So I also thought that I needed to just go ahead and finish the skirting as much as I could immediately, because stairs are kind of intimidating, and they're probably going to take me a little bit longer than I think, or than they should. So I need to get the flooring in a timely manner, so that we can keep our financing going from good old Cap Ed, who was extremely slow in the loan application process and almost caused us to lose this house overall. So Capital Educators Credit Union, in Idaho, definitely do not recommend using them, even if they can give you a good deal on a loan. They will be so slow in the application process. Like, the lady didn't even know when our closing date was, and we had to be on our ass, making sure that we met every deadline. And when you're buying a house from the Veteran Affairs, from the Office of Veteran Affairs, they don't screw around on deadlines. So if you miss something, you're out, and they just go to the next person. You're not dealing with a person, you're dealing with a government entity, and we all know how efficient they are. So I went to Home Depot, got some paint, and then I thought, yesterday I dropped the entire 4x8 sheet, and I dinged it up a little bit, and it took me a while to cut it into 9-inch widths. So I thought, you know what, I'll just go get another one, and I will, instead of taking it home, or taking it home to the house or whatever, and ripping it myself on the rinky-dink job site table saw that I have over there, I will ask one of the good people at Home Depot to use their handy-dandy panel saw to rip it for me at 9.25 inch widths, so that it's much more manageable, and then I have a factory edge essentially on one side, and then I can just rip it to the 9 inches that is on my table saw at the job site. So you might be wondering, why don't you just have them rip it at 9 inches from the store, and then you're done and you don't have to do anything? Well, the thing is that 9 inches are not created equally, no matter everywhere you go. There's lots of variables at play. One variable is the dude cutting the lumber. I don't know if the kid at Home Depot, who previously, before working at Home Depot, was working at McDonald's, knows how to read a damn tape measure. So his 9 inches and my 9 inches could be Very different. And the 9 inches on my cheapo Ryobi job site table saw could also be very different because I didn't use a tape measure to double check on that. I just used the tape measure on the table saw itself. So, you know, who knows how accurate that is. Not only that, but the tape measure on their panel saw, you know, their 9 inches might be slightly off. So we want to be, you know, even though it's finished carpentry and it's not fine woodworking and I'm not building, you know, it's not, we want to be as consistent as possible with all measurements because we don't want errors to compound and stuff. So we went with a 1/4 of an inch margin of error. So we're just going to re-rip it when we get to the property. So I go to the panel saw at Home Depot and I ask a dude, there's already a dude there, and I think, oh man, this is going to go super fast. And the guy says, oh, our panel saw is out of order. It's been out of order for a week and a half. So I'm like, oh fuck, it's already 9:30, and no, it's already 7:30, and you know, hey, time is money. So I'm like, okay, do I just buy the panel here and then go back home and rip it myself? Would it be faster to do that, or do I go across the street, 2 stoplights down, and do I go to Lowe's and I buy an MDF panel there and ask the gentleman there to rip the panel for me on their panel saw, because I know their panel saw works. I know their panel saw works. I just had some material cut over there a couple weeks ago. So I decided to go to Lowe's and get my stuff cut over there instead. And turns out it's the same guy that was working for me, or that was working the panel saw for me last time. I trust the guy. He's totally, you know, so I feel like the employees at Lowe's, even though Lowe's in my area is more depressing to shop at than Home Depot. Home Depot's like more family oriented. I don't know. I think, and you know, so these damn power walkers, they're not doing shit. You know, Lowe's is a little more depressing, but the employees most of the time they seem to know what they're doing. So, you know, if you're going to get a panel cut and you have the option between Lowe's and Home Depot, probably just go to Lowe's. I don't like going to Lowe's. Lowe's is kind of depressing, especially the lumber yard side, because their lighting it's kind of dim over there. It's always the way it's situated in my area. There's not a lot of people there all the time, and it's just kind of dead. And I'm working on this house by myself. It's gonna be dark, so, you know, I work on it in the dark more than I work on it in the day at this point, so I don't know. But I went to Lowe's, got it cut, got the panels cut. I brought my sander, and I'm going to sand the edge that I cut on my table saw because it's not very smooth, and then I'll bring my palm router later. I don't want to bring too many tools to the house all at once, because if I get them all stolen, if I get stuff stolen, you know, I will have a minimal amount of stuff stolen. But I don't think that'll happen this time. I did get stuff stolen the last time I renovated a property. It was $5,000 worth, and we certainly did not have $5,000 to piss away. We put it on credit, and we slowly recuperated the cost. We caught the guy who did it, my wife, with balls of steel. She used her wits to find out where the individual was living and when they were leaving and arriving and where they were selling things in real time from a safe distance. You know, so we caught the guy, gave all the information over to the police, and we've been getting garnishment checks from the guy for the last 5 years. So, you know, we got him. We got him. We're also about to get garnishment checks from our previous tenant who lived at the property the first property that we renovated, and that'll be fun. We didn't have a contract. Always have, when you rent to people, always have a contract. Handshakes are not enough. We're still able to take her to small claims and win, but it's, you know, because we had text messages going back and forth for a whole year agreeing that, hey, yeah, you know, you're paying rent, la-di-da, and we had bank statements and stuff coming from her, that she was paying rent through Cash App and stuff. But it's really hard to sue somebody it makes it a lot harder to sue them if you don't have a contract for background. So always have one of those. So I'm just now pulling up to the house. Gonna try and get some skirting done as much as I can, get it painted. I'm gonna sand it once I paint it the first time, because we're gonna, you know, especially with MDF, the grain of the material, or not the grain, but the wood fibers of the material sponge up after the first coat. So you want to paint it, let it dry, and then knock them back down with 220 grit. And then if you paint it again once it's already on the wall, it comes out pretty good. It almost looks like it was spray painted. But we're not going to spray paint it. It's just baseboard, so it just needs to look mostly okay. Okay, here we go.